Hey guys, it's Sweet Nightingale here, and I'm here with the promised Q&A session. Now, I'm sorry that this is kind of a little bit late, but it got a little crazy today, and so I'm recording this on Sunday afternoon here. And so we're going to go ahead and get with the questions. Now, I'm on the video of the future plans and Q&A session that I asked the questions to be submitted on. So I'm going to go ahead and go down this video, and we're going to get the questions that were submitted and go ahead and answer them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and scroll down here, and I'm going to just sort of, oops. Okay. Now, our first question. Okay, how do you create a website? Is it free? What do you use? Well, it depends on and this is from Amy Welsh. It really depends on what you want to do. There are some free blog sites out there like blogger.com, Tumblr, I think, that are free. If you just want to create a blog, that's great. And there are some free servers out there that you can use. If you want to actually create a full-blown website, what I use is webs.com. And you can actually have a free account there, but you're going to get advertisements all over your website. So I do have a paid account, and I can't remember what that's going to cost me a year. It's a little steep, but I can't remember what it is offhand. But I do have a paid account with Webs. And if you go to webs.com, they will explain it. They will kind of walk you through it. Now, Webs is what I use for my website. And with this one, you can actually build a full-blown website. You can actually have a blog within your website and a lot of pages that you have within your website. Now, if you checked out my website, I have like an About Me page. I have a Featured Simmers page. I have a series page. I actually have a blog page, a contest page, a polls page. So, I mean, there's a lot that you can do with that. So you can add certain pages, and there's like little widgets that you can add, and it's pretty easy to operate. It pretty much walks you through it, and you don't necessarily have to know HTML, although you can plug in HTML should you want to do like a custom layout or something, which is fine. But if you want to do like a full-blown website, I would highly recommend Webs. And if you want a website that doesn't have all the advertisements, you're going to have to get a paid account. But there are other website servers out there that you can do. You can actually buy your own domain name and actually create a website from scratch, and which means you got to have sort of the tools to do it. I don't really know how to do that. I think there's stuff like WordPress that you can use, like if you want to make it into a blog, but I kind of like the idea of Webs because it kind of walks me through it, and I can have not only a blog, but I can actually have a full-blown website, you know, with the visitors counter and everything. So that's what I use, and that's what I would recommend. All right, so from the Miami Girl, she says, "What? You sleep and eat during the day? LOL. Great idea about staggering the people you'll be featuring on your blog." Now, I did explain in this video about how I was going to do the feature page on my website. So if you go back and watch that, you'll be able to kind of see what she's talking about here. I'm sure they'll be happy with that. 6 weeks is a good run of time to be featured. Love the Q&A idea too. My question would be whether or not you have ever fashioned any of your Sims or in any of your LPs off yourself. One that you thought looked like you, had the same kind of traits, sort of like a self-sim. If so, who? Well, I can say that I have kind of sort of done this a little bit in an LP. But, and this is kind of a long sort of explanation, so just kind of bear with me a little bit. I did actually make a Simself of myself, and I've not really showed her yet. She's kind of, if you go to my Sims 3 website, you'll be able to see her as my avatar. And I'm thinking of using her a little bit in some of my house review series and stuff, but I have not unveiled her as of yet. But I do have a Simself a Simself of me. But I've not really featured her in any of my LPs as of yet. The closest I think I've ever come would be during my Showtime LP, where I pretty much fashioned all my Sims off of my family. Like, I mean, we have John and Denise Nightingale. Now, their last name Nightingale was named after me, you know, Sweet Nightingale. And John is actually my husband's name. And Denise is actually my middle name. My first name is Sharon. Some of you guys may know that, and if you guys don't know that by now already, little revelation about myself. My first name is Sharon, and my middle name is Denise, so, you know, Denise and John Nightingale, you know, named after us. And Denise was kind of like me, sort of, in a way. I kind of gave her a little bit of different traits than what I would have, but in a way she was kind of like me. John Nightingale was very much like my husband. And, but yeah, I will be unveiling actually my Simself in probably a future Let's Play. And I don't want to give away too many more details, but I'll probably be showing her off in several of the house review series maybe, but I will be actually using her in an actual Let's Play. But I don't want to go any further just yet because I'm still kind of brainstorming it. I really don't know how I'm going to do it, but yes, she is actually going to be featured. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, so moving onward, this is from Glitters846. I love The Sims so very much. What is your favorite expansion so far? Love your LPs. Well, it's really hard to narrow it down to one. I love University for the fact that you can actually send your Sims to school. You can actually do a further education than high school, and you can actually kind of guide them through that education. I was a college girl myself. I went to college, and so this, kind of really relates to me. I love the fact that you can actually go back and get multiple degrees, and the fact that it actually helps you in your degree, in your future career path and everything. So I love University, not only for that, but I love the cool stuff that you get with University. I do love seasons because we actually get weather in the game, which is something that we never had before, except in Sims 2, and in Sims 3 I think it looks a little bit more real. I do love Supernatural because I love fantasy stories. I'm an avid reader. Love, love, love fantasy stories. Love some sci-fi stuff. I love things like Harry Potter. Love some Stephen King. I love, the idea of like witches and wizards. Love Aragon. And mermaids are one of my favorite character types, which I think in Island Paradise we're going to be getting them, and I can't wait. But, in a way, in a lot of ways, I love Showtime, and you guys probably are, I would say many of you may not like Showtime as a favorite expansion pack, but Showtime kind of relates to me in a way because I am a singer. You guys have probably heard me sing a little bit like with the Rockabye Baby stuff when my Sims are learning the piano and all that. But I am a singer. I sing a little bit semi-professionally. I give private lessons. I do voice and beginning piano, and I teach flute. Yes, I am a flute player. Haha. And, but yeah, a lot of things in Showtime relates to me because, the Sims are trying to make it big in their career. I love the acrobat and magician too, but my favorite is the singer because it does relate to me. And I never made it big. I mean, I'm pretty well known like in my local area because I do performances and things like that. But to make it like big, 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 like really big, like American Idol big or whatever, never done that. Have never made it big like that. And there are times I really regret it. There are times that I don't regret it, but there are times that I kind of just wonder, what might have happened, what if, but, I got married, I chose to have a family, and that just it just never was meant to be, I guess. But there are times that I kind of wonder what might have happened if my path, had taken on a different direction. So yeah, Showtime really relates to me, and that's why I love Showtime. So, but it is really hard to narrow it down to one. Okay, so moving onward. Okay, so there was somebody that was talking about mods, and this is from Terrell E. Gray Jr. It says, "Hi, Sweet Nightingale. In many of your Let's Plays, you mentioned mods that you use. Could you give us a link to them? I don't normally use mods, but some of them sound interesting. Thanks, Terry." Well, there are two sites that I normally get my mods from. The first one is Mod The Sims, and this is where I get like a lot of my modded hairstyles. I have a lot of hairstyles that came from Mod The Sims. And you can actually get some things from Sims 2 and from Sims 3, but you gotta be a little careful because there are some things that are outdated, but they still do have them up, but there are some things that are outdated. So you just have to kind of really look at the description and look at the patch level that the mod was created on and if it's been updated recently. There's some great things out there, like I have a mod for my nectar makers, which you can add a random fruit combination. I have a clean house for everyone, which means that you don't necessarily have to be a neat sim to just click on the clean house thing and then to make them clean house. I can get every one of my Sims to clean house. And I do have, between that, the modded hairstyles and that, those are things that I got from Mod the Sims. You can even get some houses from Mod the Sims, and there are a lot of really nice Sims 2 things that you can get from Mod the Sims. I also get like a lot of custom content, like some hairstyles and clothes, and even some houses from the Sims resource. So Mod the Sims and the Sims resource are some really great things to look at. But where I use most of my mods from is NRAS, NRAAS. And if you Google NRAS Home, you'll be able to get to that site. I don't really have a link right off the bat, but just go to Google and then just type in NRAS, NRAAS Home. And that will take you to their site. And this is Twalin's mods. You've probably heard me talk about Twalin and his mods. This is where you can get Traveler, you can get Overwatch, Story Progression, Error Trap, Traveler. I think I mentioned Traveler. The Once Read, which is the mod where you can actually get books in the bookstore written by other Sims. Plus, it has an add-on with a tablet where you can listen to any skills that you want to listen to. Register, yeah, I think I mentioned Register. Story Progression. There's a lot. There's actually a lot that you can get from this website. So this NRAS is where I get a lot of my mods too. So Mod the Sims, NRAS, and then for the Sims resource, you can get like a lot of clothes and hair and even some houses for that. So those are 3 places that I would recommend that you look if you want to look for downloads and mods. Okay. Let's see. I suggest you get a separate email address and your personal one. Well, I've done that. There's this person that said about between a personal and your email address that goes along with YouTube. Now, I've been adding my email address to my YouTube videos, which is the email address that I have connected to my YouTube account. I do not add my personal email address to my YouTube stuff because that is like personal stuff, and I don't want to get like YouTube stuff in with my personal stuff. So I'm kind of way ahead of this person. So the email address that I am submitting, I do check regularly, but it does go with my YouTube channel, but I do check it regularly. So you're free to email me on that, and I'll try to answer you as soon as I possibly can on that one. I love the idea of food chain. Hee I can't wait until the future Q&A. Yeah, because I did mention food chain, which, yeah, I had to laugh about how I mentioned that in the video. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here that we need to address on this. I think that is all the questions that actually came on the video. Now, I really thought that there'd be a lot more questions on this video because I really wanted this to be a really good Q&A session, but I only got a few here. So I don't know if you guys were afraid to ask me anything, but if you want me to do any of these future Q&As, you really need to submit the questions, you know, so that we can do it. And I kind of give the directions to do it on this video. If you did it on like the Facebook or the Twitter page, I probably didn't get it because I don't always check them. So that's why I said, you know, to submit the questions on this actual video. Now, I will go ahead and answer another question that I get asked frequently, and that is my computer specs. Now, I'll go ahead and go through that a little bit. I am running on an iMac, and as you can see, I have like the little icons on the bottom here. It's very different than Windows. So I have an iMac, I have an i5 processor. My RAM is, I have 12 gigabytes of RAM. And my hard drive space, I have 1 terabyte hard drive that I partitioned because, as you guys know, if you've been watching me in my LPs, that I was having a lot of trouble with crashing with my Sims 3 on the Mac side, so I had ended up having to transfer everything over to a Windows 7 operating system, which I was able to use through Boot Camp Assistant, which actually comes with Mac. It's called Boot Camp, and so I partitioned the hard drive to be able to operate in these 2 different systems. And so you can actually boot this computer up into 2 different ways. You can actually boot it up into the Mac operating system, or you can boot it up into the Windows 7 operating system. And so I pretty much split the hard drive in half. I have like 425 gigs, I think, on Windows and 475 gigs, I think, on the Mac, because now I am recording all of my gameplay stuff in Windows. The only thing that I record now in Mac is Sims Medieval, because that doesn't crash, and that seems to work pretty well. But like Nancy Drew stuff, Sims 3, Sims 2, Sims 1, I record in Windows. So I've been using the Windows side to record a lot. But those are my computer specs. Now, what I used to actually record with when I'm recording Sims Medieval and when I used to record Sims 3 on the Mac, I have a program called ScreenFlow, which is a video capture software plus a video editor software. Those are combined into one program, which is called ScreenFlow. Now, those of you that are Mac users that want to do gameplay stuff on your Mac and you want to get ScreenFlow, it is not cheap. I want to warn you of that. It costs me in the neighborhood of about $100. And then there are periodic upgrades that you're going to have to get that you're going to end up having to pay for too, like every couple years or whatever. But to actually get the software, it's in the neighborhood of $100. It is a video capture software, which means you can actually do your gameplay. You can actually record stuff on your computer. And then you can actually go back in and edit the video and then render it and then have it sized into a more uploadable size to be uploaded to YouTube, which is an MP4 format. Now, when I record Sims 3, Sims 2, Original Sims, Nancy Drew, any of those other gameplay stuff, I use Fraps for recording, and this is Windows. You know, we're talking Windows here again. On the Mac side, I use ScreenFlow, but on the Windows side, I use Fraps to record with, and then I use Adobe Premiere Elements to actually edit the video, because I do put the video through a pretty good editing treatment, and then I render it, and then it comes out into an AVI file, which is very, very large. And so then I use a software program called Convert Lite, which is a free video converting software that will convert my AVI file into an MP4 file, which makes I can still do it in high def, but it just makes the file size a little smaller so that it's more uploadable to YouTube, and so that it doesn't take me half the day to upload to YouTube. My videos take anywhere from, depending on how long the video is, my videos can take anywhere from a half an hour to about 2 hours to upload to YouTube. And again, it just depends on the length of them and so forth. So anyway, that's pretty much what I used to record with and my computer specs. Now, I didn't have any other questions that were asked of me. If you want me to do another Q&A session, you guys are going to have to think of some more questions to ask me, and I will put up a preparation video a few days ahead of time so that you guys have plenty of time to ask questions and so forth. But if you guys want to see another one of these, you guys are going to have to ask questions, because I can't answer questions that aren't asked of me. So anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the Q&A session, and we'll do another one of these if it goes over well. And so go ahead and subscribe to see more of my LPs. I do Sims 3, Sims 2, Original Sims, some Nancy Drew stuff, Sims Medieval, and other Sims games and other stuff. So subscribe to see more of my gameplay stuff on this channel. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the crap out of the like button on the video, and also hit the crap out of the like button on any of my other LPs. You guys have a simtastic day, and we'll see you guys in the next LP. Okay, bye guys.